That war didn't end. That was the battle that was lost in these folks' mind. Another thing, I sent this to Rocka and a couple other friends and the homies. Do me a favor. Since you think the war's over, do me a favor. Look up the Confederate flag. What you think is the Confederate flag is the battle flag. The real Confederate flag it looks a whole lot like the state of Georgia's flag. But you got allies, right? No permanent allies, just common interests. So while everybody's thinking, oh, Donald Trump is acting a fool about getting reelected. No, what Donald Trump is doing is working his number so Mitch McConnell could potentially stay, in hopes that Mitch McConnell will potentially stay in power at the U.S. Senate, and then he's going to strip women of all their damn rights. He's going to resegregate the schools. He's going to reverse the 1964 and 65 Civil Rights Act and Naturalization Acts. And that's what the real plan is. So they can get your brown ass up under their boot again. See, shout out to my man Malcolm Mayat. We were talking, and he said, you know what, man, follow the money and you'll see what's going on. Wherever the money go to, that's what. Now you got Planned Parenthood on Charlemagne the God and those guys show. And we don't just do abortions, we do this and do that. And da, 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 da. See, it's always a back end get down, man. So while we watching Donald Trump, and shout out to my man RC who mentioned this million moron march that they had in DC. Hopefully, man, the LGBTQ community would have commandeered. I was hoping they would commandeer that. Not that I'm drawing allegiance with anybody like that, but what they did on Twitter, they call themselves the Proud Boys, and you know they call the LGBTQ community Pride. They took over the Proud Boys and made a gay pride, and they hate those folks. So I was hoping they would do that. God should have made it be about 80 degrees so they could have showed up in them booty shorts like they do at the Pride Parade and really screwed it up for the Make America Great goofballs. Make America goofy again. That's what it should stand for. But see, you have to be watching this stuff, man. We have to start engaging early. No more engaging, oh man, my son ain't old enough for that. You know, he ain't ready for that. No, he is ready for that. Your grandson, we need to start teaching our kids immediately when they come out. See, my generation dropped the ball, in my personal opinion. You can think whatever you want about you. I feel that my generation dropped the ball because we raised a group of kids who didn't realize the urgency and the real situation that was going on with our community. And we allowed them to be lax. We allowed them to go right to sleep. And what I mean by the sleep is this. Again, I'm a nerd, man. You know, I talk real cool and slick or whatever. I come from the hood. But at the end of the day, I'm what you would consider a history nerd. And I like to look into other cultures and find out things that could be beneficial to me. And hopefully I could share them with you guys. You can share them with your friends. And like that old AT&T commercial. I'm going to call two friends and we're going to call two friends. And hopefully we can educate each other and put ourselves in a better world and in a better place, right? What I noticed is it was this young man. I listened to this dude on YouTube the other day. And he was a brother who was adopted by this Jewish guy. And the Jewish guy raised him, right? And this Jewish family raised him. He was living in Beverly Hills. He fabulous, right? And he would come home and tell his Jewish father this. Yeah, I was at my friend Patah's house. I was at my friend Chief Rocka's house. I was at my friend DJ Knox's house. Just so happens Chief Rocka, Patah, and Knox are white, and he's black. And his Jewish father would consistently ask him, would they hide you? And he said it used to annoy him to no end. Like, what are you talking about? Enough with that. These are my friends. We didn't instill. You see how that Jewish man understood the tyranny of the people that surround you, and how you can be subjected to terror and all kinds of nonsensical foolishness for no reason at all. We didn't arm our kids with that, because he said when he finally came to realize what his father was talking about was, you are black. They're your friends as long as it's safe. To quote the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., you don't test a man in his comfort. You watch a man in his comfort. You don't need to. Watch him when it's uncomfortable, because when he's uncomfortable, that's when the real man gonna show up. And that's what that man's father was trying to teach him. They're your friends because it's safe right now to be your friend. There's no problem with being your friend, but will he be your friend when the shit hits the fan? Is he gonna be your friend then? And that's what we did not arm our children with in this community in the United States of America. If you gonna make a friend, make sure that friend got your back. Under no circumstances is he supposed to cut and run and turn and break wild. None of that. If one would get whooped, we got to get whooped together. And if those are not your friends, then it is what it is. Throughout the United States of America, since Memorial Day, the day before Memorial Day actually, when we saw the brother Big George get murdered, when we saw Big George Floyd get lynched, we have seen literally millions of people throughout the world say, we got your back, we got your back, we got your back, we got your back. In Southern Illinois, one of the most racist parts of my state, there was a Black Lives Matter march going on with no black people there. Wow, rap. You gotta respect that. I respect it if these Proud Boys start acting fool and they up their pistols and start protecting my brothers and sisters. Up until and including that moment, thanks. We cool up until we're not. And that's the mentality the folks in my community needs to start having. We're cool until we're not. Because if you're not willing to hide me or throw me a gun or fight back to back with me, I don't need nobody to hold my coat while I get my behind kicked. No, sir. I don't need that. And with that being said, I got a break coming. Little information I want to drop on you. And then I'll be back after that information. And I'll continue with the show. Thank you for tuning in to Build for This Network. This is HRap B. Holla at your boy in 3 minutes.
Josiah Henson, a.k.a. Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom was born June 15, 1789 in Charles County, Maryland. He was separated from his parents when he was a kid after his father got disciplined for standing up to a slave owner. His father received 100 lashes and got his right ear cut off. One day, at the age of 9, Josiah was caught reading a grammar book by a slave master, Mr. Riley. Mr. Riley beat him so bad, his eyes were swollen and he became unconscious. As he grew older, he became the overseer of the plantation. Josiah was able to work and stack up some money so he can purchase his freedom. But Mr. Riley cheated him out of his money. So after that, he escaped to Canada. And that's where he gave his story. In 1852, author Harriet Beecher Stowe released a powerful fictional book called Uncle Tom's Cabin. Fictional, but it was also based on Josiah's life. This book was so powerful that if you were caught reading it, selling it, or buying it, you would be arrested. Not only could you be arrested, but you could also be sentenced to death. Inside of the book Uncle Tom's Cabin, you will learn about two characters. One, Uncle Tom, and the other, Sambo. Uncle Tom was a good dude. He never snitched. He never beat anybody. And he was the guy, if your sack was empty or your sack was low, he would take cotton out of his sack and put it into yours, just so you wouldn't get beat. Because he was so looked up to, he was so loved, and he was the man holding everything down, they had to put another slave in charge of him, and that slave was Sambo. Sambo's orders was to beat Uncle Tom every night, all the way up until his death. Uncle Tom was beat to death in the fictional book for not giving up the whereabouts of two women slaves that escaped. So let's change that narrative on Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom was a good dude. Sambo is what we should be calling people, not Uncle Tom. You should be proud to be called an Uncle Tom. That name came from the white slave owners who viewed him as a traitor. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe.
This is HRap. I'm back. This is Built for This Network. This is Build and Destroy. And it's time for the wrap up, man. I'm not finna end the show right now. I'm just saying, this is the home stretch. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for, if you haven't, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to Build for This Network. Please to share this on your social media. Tell a friend, give it to a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend to tune in to Build for This Network. Please and thank you. Now, as we were just talking about, we have to put ourselves in a better position in life. We have to be in a better station in life. The reason we must be in a better station in life is this. In order to make this thing work for us and not work for everybody else like it's been doing, what you have to do is get involved. Because again, most of us ain't packing up, man. Now, I'm one of these dudes who always woofing and huffing and puffing. Man, Shell, if I ever hit this money, man, we get the fuck up out of here. But you know what, man? My black ass might not leave either, man. It sound good, broke as fuck, you know, with a couple extra coins in my bank account. Because I got a comma in my bank account, it sound good. But if I had two in there, would I leave? See, it sound good, man. So I'm not going to excoriate or judge anybody or put anybody in some type, you know, got folks thinking some type of way about folks. Oh man, we need to go back to Africa. Oh, fuck, you ain't even ready to go to the suburbs. So I ain't trying to do that right now. You know what I'm saying? Let's deal with the monster that we dealing with, man. I want to attack the brothers that's out here and the sisters and I'm gonna call them the YouTubers. Shout out to Combat Jack, the internets that you ain't touched the book since Ned and the First Reader. If you don't know what Ned and the First Reader, run, Ned, run. See Ned, run. That's the last time you touched the book, man. That's the last time you watched something that was enhancing you. Next time, if you want to go down YouTube or rabbit hole, it's a book that's on YouTube. You ain't even got to read it, son. You ain't even got to read it. Go to YouTube after this show, or even now, you come back to me. You could shift gears and read and listen to somebody else gonna read this to you.